the NFL has been polling NFL executives, coaches, and scouts, so ball knowers of the highest order, on who are the best players in their position throughout the league. They've been pumping the lists out, and we've done a couple of them on here. We've done a couple on heavyweights. The quarterback list just came out, and Jared Goff was ranked 8th in the NFL for quarterbacks. Now, again, this is a list by coaches, executives, and scouts. Matthew Stafford and Justin Herbert are the guys over him, I would say, outside of the ones that we all kind of expected to be there. And then you have Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield rounding out the top 10. Stick. Did they do your boy right? How you feeling?
I feel like it's in tiers, right? Like Patrick Mahomes is a tier by himself just because of the Super Bowl rings he has.
Yeah.
I think Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Goff are in a tier. And then I think it's the Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert. Like I put Goff 5 on that list, in the top 5
I'm not
somewhere.
putting Goff in that tier.
Yeah, I can't put him in the top 5.
Did you see that? Like everybody talks about how much more of a mobile quarterback Stafford is and stuff like that. You know, none of them. The Stafford, was it C.J. Stroud and Jared Goff? None of them have rushed for more than 304 yards in a season ever. So, like, all this talk about Stafford's better on the, like...
Stafford's better.
Lies.
He moves out.
Lies.
He moves out of the pocket.
Stafford is better at moving around in the pocket and throwing the ball on the run and different things like that.
I don't know about all that.
I would agree with
Nobody's
Lies.
saying he's mobile.
Stats don't lie, boys.
I'm
he ain't moving anywhere.
He's not mobile, though.
The only thing I remember about Stafford is him sliding short.
He knows how to
fourth down.
handle pressure better than
Yes.
Goff. That's all.
100%.
He's more mobile in the pocket and avoiding pressure and things like that. And
But I don't want to get off on the Stafford Goff thing. But
Yeah.
go back to that. I mean,
The only problem I have, how the hell can Justin Herbert be over Jared Goff in any metric? Like, that's my only real issue with this list.
I have two, I think, I wouldn't say issues. I actually only have one issue. I'm not mad about the Justin Herbert stuff.
Over Goff?
Yeah, no, I'm not mad about
What?
that at all. I think having Lamar Jackson at 4 is kind of crazy. But
where would you put him?
I would put him
Above Joe Burrow?
I would put him above Joe Burrow for sure. I'd probably put him above Josh Allen. It's pretty close. Maybe I'd keep Josh Allen at 2, but
Yeah, Josh Allen is 2.
Lamar's got to be in the top 3.
Is this a list about regular season or playoffs or
it's
all
just
the
the
above?
GM
Or
scouts who they'd take in a draft.
Who they would take in a draft?
It is who the best player in the division, who the best player in the league is.
Who the best player in the league is?
Is the best players in the league at that position. And would I agree with what Stick said about it being in tiers, and that's why I agree with the rankings, because I think you have your elite quarterbacks as Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and then the next 3 you've got.
How do you not include Goff in that
Because
conversation?
he's not in that conversation.
He's not in that
Goff
conversation.
is-
Just
you gotta-
outside.
You can see it, man. It's tangible. And Jared Goff in
I-
the conversation with Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield, I think is
What do you
extremely
mean
fair.
you can see it? Goff has led the league in yards, completion percentage, points for the past 2 years.
Would you
put up better stats than all of them? So what are you seeing?
Would you take Jared Goff over Joe Burrow?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Okay.
What has Joe Burrow
then you're
done?
right. Then
What
you're
has Joe
right.
Burrow done that Goff hasn't?
Nothing.
Exactly.
He is a better quarterback, though. He's better in the
Then
pocket.
why'd they start out 0-5
0-5
last year?
Because their team was dog shit. It's literally
He has no line.
Joe Burrow,
and this is-
2 receivers, and then Trey Hendrickson. Like that's
Well,
all
it's
they
not
had.
our fault they passed on Panay Sewell.
No, it's not.
Like I'm not gonna give somebody
It's their
like
fault.
if he's so
Yeah.
great, he's supposed to elevate, right?
He does.
Like,
He took a team to the Super Bowl, and
So did Goff.
He was sacked in one of the AFC playoff games against the Titans 9 times, and still won,
9
dude.
times.
Spencer,
Goff-
who was the best player on the Jared Goff Super Bowl team?
Todd Gurley
Or Aaron Donald?
or Aaron
Yeah.
Donald.
Who was the best player on Joe Burrow's Super Bowl team?
Joe Burrow.
Joe
Jamar
Burrow.
Chase.
No.
Joe Burrow.
Because of Joe Burrow.
Because of Joe
Come on,
Burrow.
like, this is- that's where Goff haters
It's not a hater.
They always
No,
have a
we're
pivot.
not hating.
You always
It's not
have
an
a
insult.
pivot.
No.
So you're
So, like,
telling me that
Goff's a
NFL
system
scouts,
guy.
coaches, and GMs are Goff haters?
Yes.
That's where he should be. I've talked about Goff since we've talked about him the past 3 years. It's 17 to 7 to 13.
I'm saying
that
he
range
deserves
is-
to be in that tier. You're saying he's not even in
No,
that
he's
tier.
he's just
not.
outside.
Just
of it.
outside.
But it's
Tier.
not an insult. Look, they got him over Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
bro.
Exactly.
Like, that's not a bad thing.
Jalen Hurts, like when you watch him play, he's not lighting up like passing.
He
like,
is
He's a
on the
game
low
manager.
tier of
He's
an elite game manager.
Him and Goff are both elite
game
managers.
managers.
They both do things very well.
Would you take Hurts
opposite of each other?
You think Hurts would be better for this team than Goff?
No.
Not in this offense.
No.
Okay.
But I would take Jaden Daniels over Goff.
If you have Jalen Hurts, you would build the offense around him in a different way, much like you did with Jared Goff, because they're both very good quarterbacks that have different skill sets that make them better. Like, I don't think Jared Goff could go into Philly and run that offense right now. And I don't think that Jalen Hurts could come here and run this offense as efficiently because they're built around their quarterback's specific skill set.
I think you could drop Goff anywhere, and his history's shown it.
No.
Right?
No,
he succeeded under McVay.
You can drop
LA.
him most places.
Because they built
I think
it around him.
I think history's shown that you can't do that because he's
taken multiple franchises.
He was jettisoned from the Rams because Sean McVay thought he couldn't run the offense as efficiently as a guy like Matthew Stafford. He came here and they built it around him because he has a very good skill set, but he has specific and obvious limitations. So you can't just put him into anything. You build the offense around him, and then he can run it extremely well, which is what the Lions did. A guy like Joe Burrow, a guy like Josh Allen, a guy like Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, you drop them in any single offense in the NFL, and they're putting up MVP numbers. For guys like Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff, and even Baker Mayfield as well, I put Dak in that grouping as well, is they need to be catered. Their offense has to be built around them, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just when I look at the elite upper echelon quarterbacks in the league, I think there are 4 of them. And I don't put Jared Goff in that category.
Chris Ogdahl in the Woodward Sports Chat. Goff was throwing to Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks in one of the top offenses in the NFL and took them to a Super Bowl.
Yep.
No, absolutely.
And they were very solid receivers.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks is really
Oh yeah, Hall of Famer.
They're not on the tier of Amon-Ra or JMO, but they are
how'd
still.
they get there?
Brandon Cooks is like one of 5 players to have 1,000 yards receiving seasons for 3 different teams.
So, I mean, really what we're arguing, I got Goff in tier 2. You got Goff in tier 3.
You have him in tier 2 with Patrick Mahomes in a tier by himself.
Mahomes, you can't argue, right?
Yeah.
Talent's there, plus rings. That eliminates him from the argument.
Yeah.
Yes, I have him in tier 3.
Yeah.
I have Mahomes in the
top
tier
of
by
tier
himself.
three. The top
I
of
have
tier 3.
then Lamar, Burrow, and Josh Allen in no order, and then I have right below him, and Jaden Daniels in that tier, and then I have Goff as the top of a league game manager.
I would put Goff in probably tier 4. But it's the same level of tier when you look at it's. I have Goff in the same tier with Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield and Dak Prescott, and you can put Justin Herbert in that one or in my tier 3, which
is
would
with
be
Jaden Daniels.
Stafford, Jaden Daniels.
Yep,
and
I would agree with that.
Okay, so here's the
question: if you want to put Goff in that one and Herbert in the,
I think
if Goff wins a Super Bowl, where do you move him?
I put him in the same tier, just like Jalen Hurts is in that same tier, and he just won a Super Bowl.
Then why do they even play the game? So even if he wins the Super Bowl, you're not going to upgrade him and be like, oh, God, that guy's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
I would put him at the same level as Stafford if he wins the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
He's above Stafford now.
Based on what?
Based on Stafford spent 12 years in Detroit, did nothing.
With worse teams.
Yeah. Way worse teams.
I don't know. He had arguably the greatest wide receiver of all time.
Yeah.
He had the number 2 defense in the league of all time, right? Arguably the best defense the Lions have ever had.
2014 was their best shot, but every other year, 2014 was their best shot at it.
Okay.
But every other year that they kind of got
Has
to
Jared
the playoffs
Goff
or
had a
close,
top 2 defense?
You knew it would fall apart.
Has Jared Goff had a top 2 defense?
I believe for the Rams defense was up there.
No, I'm talking in the Lions.
Detroit?
No,
not even close,
he had
right?
top 10. Yeah. They were top 10 last year. They were top 5.
For the first 5 games.
No, they were top 10 for the whole year. They were top 5 for the first 5.
That's not 2,
right? But it's
top
10.
10 is
But
not 2.
Goff has way more than Stafford ever had as a linebacker.
So Jared Goff had arguably the best wide receiver of all time that's getting triple coverage. No, he doesn't?
No, but he's got arguably the second best wide receiver in the history of the Detroit Lions.
Who was a 4th-round pick who has gotten better with Jared Goff, correct?
He's gotten better, yeah.
He wasn't just handed a known commodity.
No, he was not.
No. So you could argue that Jared Goff
Calvin's best years came with
something to do.
Stafford too. It's not like Calvin's best years came with Stafford too. Like they were a part of it too. Calvin got better with Stafford.
Yeah.
Obviously, it helps to have a guy like that. But
what do you mean it helps to have a guy? Did you watch the games where Stafford would just throw jump balls and Calvin would go catch them over 3 guys? That's kind of beneficial for quarterbacks.
The talent level, the cohesiveness, and the all-around skill of these teams right now are better than the Stafford Lions ones. You look at the level of first-team All-Pros you have, the number of guys you have in talks of best defensive player of the year. We just talked.
He had Ndamukong Suh. What are you talking
about?
Stafford
years, people
Suh was just as dominant as anybody on the team right now.
You think those teams are better than these Lions teams?
I'm not saying they're better, but if you're gonna say Stafford had nothing,
nobody's saying we're not saying that we had nothing.
Yeah, he had the number 2 defense in the league.
He doesn't have what Goff has.
No,
he didn't when he was a Lion.
He didn't even have an offensive line that sniffed how good these offensive
lines
are.
Okay.
Even this year, without Frank Ragnow, it would still be the best.
Now let's play this game for the Rams when Stafford went there.
Okay.
All right, sure.
Did Goff have Odell Beckham Jr.?
No.
Did Goff have Von Miller?
No.
Did Goff have Jalen Ramsey?
No, but he had Akeem
Talib.
Yes, he had
so
Jalen
Stafford
Ramsey.
Accomplished more because he had more than using your logic.
Stafford, yeah, he won a Super Bowl with the Rams.
First year.
But he had more pieces to do it,
yeah,
correct? So arguably Jared Goff could have done that had he had more pieces.
But he didn't.
Well, I understand because he didn't have the right pieces. That's what you're saying
Stafford
about
got
Stafford
the same
here.
pieces and took him to a Super Bowl the first year.
No, you just admitted
they
Stafford
added
had
as
more.
They went along though, but I'm just saying
they added 2.
Goff had Gurley.
It's not
Stafford did not.
The team that Jared Goff brought to the Super Bowl with the Rams was a bad team. That's crazy to say that. They had Todd Gurley, they had Aaron Donald, they had Akeem Talib, they had Dexter Fowler, they had a ton of, or Dante Fowler, they had a ton of very good, talented players. It's not like he was playing with a bunch of bums. Did they add some more guys? Yes, but that's what teams do. Right. So it's not like they.
But you will excuse Matthew Stafford for his. You'll excuse Stafford for his failures here, saying he didn't have the guys.
I'm not excusing him for that.
But when it's Jared Goff in LA, and Stafford went and won with his team.
No, I'm not saying that. See, you're making up these hypothetical scenarios. No, Stafford does not get a pass. He should have won games. That 2014 team was loaded. Yeah. They should have won games. He came up short. Just like Jared Goff doesn't get a pass for what he did in those playoffs. He had he had 1 touchdown in that whole Super Bowl run. It's not like he was out there gunslinging. Matt Stafford had one of the best postseasons in the history of the NFL.
That's a fact. Took down Brady.
Because of a couple dropped interceptions.
The numbers he was putting up were insane, man. It's okay to say things like that, and it's not hate, because if we're hating, then literally all the best ball knowers on planet Earth are hating, because these are the head coaches, scouts, and GMs of the National Football League that vote on this stuff.
Yeah, I think if you take that Super Bowl away from Stafford, he's further down this list.
Why isn't Jalen Hurts higher than Jared Goff then? He just won a Super Bowl last year.
Yep.
Super Bowl is not an individual accomplishment, it's a team game.
Then why is it held against Goff that he didn't win it?
It's not the only thing that's held against him. It's also his limitations as a player.
I would boost him up the list if he were to win a Super Bowl.
I think he'd be right around the same spot, just like Jalen Hurts is.
I think that you would be able to convincingly say that Goff should never be ranked below Justin Herbert.
Then
if
why can't you say that about Jalen Hurts then?
I guess
Jalen Hurts throws a monkey wrench in all of this.
I agree.
Because it's true. It's what it is. Like, as Goff and Jalen Hurts are both elite game managers to me. Mm-hmm. And Jalen Hurts won that. It wasn't because Jalen Hurts went out there and was putting on superhero performances. It was the defense. It was the offensive line. It was Saquon Barkley. And he stepped up and made plays when he had to. That's what separates a guy on the level of Jared Goff and Jalen Hurts from winning a Super Bowl to not winning a Super Bowl. Is the team around you is going to help you get there, but can you make those couple extra plays that ultimately win you the game? And that's what Jalen Hurts did.
And you know why I have belief that Jared Goff is that guy too? Something I saw in quarterback.